was fun. That little, that was part of a thunderstorm apparently, because I got a warning about it on the radio. But I was not quite ready for that one. I mean, I saw it coming, but you know, I'm just getting into cell phone range, so I was down below, had the self-steering in, checking email. And all of a sudden, that wind got up into the 20s there, and I'm up on deck scrambling to take in sail. And so it's past now, so now we got no wind, and we got these swells kicking us all over the place. Oh, good morning. It is Saturday, the 17th of July, 2021, and there's the coast of Maine. It's a cool morning. See, we have just very light northerly winds. Around 4 a.m. I just called it quits and dropped everything except the mainsail just as a steadying sail and just went down below for to catch a cat nap. So hopefully we'll get some wind and we'll be able to get into Potts Harbor. So in the meantime, I think I'm gonna make a cup of coffee. I see the top of my coffee mug, but I don't see the rest of the mug. Well, we'll get this sorted out here and then get this cockpit sorted first. Initiate caffeination sequence. Take a look topside. Well, we still have no wind, and today's forecast is pretty much just no wind. So we're gonna sit here until we get that. We have a little bit of wind, so we're gonna sit here until we get some wind. Hopefully this afternoon we'll get a sea breeze. Yeah, we'll see. Well, amazingly, she's still making a couple knots of progress here. So I definitely can't lay any blame at the old girl here. I mean, look at the sea. It's just practically glass. It's just a very light wind, maybe 4 knots of true wind, and she's still sailing. So we're continuing to play these light airs now. It's about 1 in the afternoon. We've only got about 5 miles to go. But closing the coast in these really light winds is tricky, especially the Maine coast, because there's a lot of things to hit. There's lots of rocks and ledges. And we got to be careful that we don't get in the grip of the tidal current there, and we can't sail against it. Couple of breaths of wind. If it would just last for maybe an hour, we could get an anchor down somewhere here. So of course the wind dies about 10 minutes later. I decide to ship the sculling oar because looking at the lobster pot buoys, I can see we're caught in a westerly setting ribbon of this flooding current. which is carrying us toward Little Mark Island. So I want to push further north, and hopefully we can get into the more northerly, north-northeasterly setting current, which will take us up the sound and hopefully close to a place where we can drop our anchor. And now I'm seeing some light southerlies coming in, so we'll try to sail again for a little while. Emphasis on light southerlies. Back to sculling. Not too much further to go now, though. Well, not a place to weather a southerly blow. That should be good enough for tonight. We are just north of Pinkham Island, and just west of us is Potts Harbor. We are on Mariconiag Sound. That's Bailey Island over there. So that's all to say that we are in Maine. This is not a drawn anchorage on the chart. This is just a place to kind of off the side of the road here. Just throw your hook down for the night. And we're going to try to get over to Potts Harbor tomorrow. Today is July 17th, 2021. So the following morning is misty, rainy, and gray, but at least we have some wind. So I'm going to weigh anchor and we're going to make our way around into Potts Harbor. So we got plenty of maneuvers to keep us busy here. We start off with a downwind run toward the winding channel that leads into Potts Harbor. Jibe ho. Once around the first red, we're now on a reaching leg before we turn downwind again. And then we round the bottom mark and bring her up close hauled, hoping to lay these two greens on starboard tack. We'll see. And we're fighting about a knot of current here. And we're not going to make it on starboard. We're going to have to put a quick tack in here. My charts are not that accurate, so I'm not quite sure how far I can get over here. So I'm going to play it safe and bring her back around onto starboard. And there's the last green can, so we've made it through. Whew, that was fun. Then the following morning after that, dawn's gray, but with no rain and no wind. I weigh anchor once again. And since we're going to be in sheltered waters, I put the outboard on. Considerably easier than sculling. Faster, too. As well as immensely helpful in getting through this very narrow cut into Basin Cove, which has to be done right around high tide. If you do it at any other time, at low tide it's very shallow, and at mid tide the current through there is extremely strong. So it's best just to get it right around high tide. So here's the narrowest part right here. There's a little green stick you have to keep close to your port side. And then gradually arc, making a slow right turn there. And then you're into Basin Cove. There's several moorings in here which are owned by the Finest Kind Boatyard, where I have hauled out several times in the past. So I'm going to go pick up one of those moorings. As useful as motors are, it sure is nice to turn them off again, isn't it? Now I just have to pass a line through the eye in the top of that mooring. And at long last, ship and crew have arrived safely in Maine.